I'm here with Kim Capri, councillor here at City Hall. Hi, Kim. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. Thank you.
So it's election time again. It must be an exciting time.
You know what? It's exciting. We've had a lot of elections. The big key is to maintain people's engagement in voting.
I'm not sure how many people know your background. Maybe you could touch on that a little for us.
Wow. Okay. So before becoming involved in politics, my background was a 20-year career in the criminal justice system. I graduated with a degree in criminology, and my initial plan was to become a Vancouver police officer. And while I was going through the recruiting process, I also became involved working with people who were in the prison system. And I got hired as a federal parole officer at the same time that the Vancouver Police Department was ready to take me. And I realized that I was probably a bit more of a social worker than I was of an enforcer, and so I chose that path and worked for many years in the criminal justice system in a variety of capacities. I managed halfway houses. I was the executive director of an organization called the John Howard Society, and at the time that I was asked to run for council, I was the executive director of the BC Crime Prevention Association.
Well, that must give you a unique perspective on how we manage our crime and justice issues.
You know, I feel so privileged to have had the opportunity to work with so many different people with varied backgrounds, to be able to experience parts of their lives, in many cases tragic lives, but at the same time still be safe. And I'm thankful that so many people were willing to share their experiences with me. The one thing that I learned as a real common denominator around addressing problems, whether it was dealing with addictions, learning to live with a mental illness, recovering from a violent relationship, before people can start to address those challenges, they need a safe place, and usually that safe place is a home. And so when I worked in the federal halfway house, what I found is that people needed to feel that this was a place that they could be safe, so that then they could start to work on some of the other things that led to their becoming involved in crime. And I see that as the same challenge for so many of the people who are homeless on our streets. We need to make sure that they have a safe place so that they can start to deal with the challenges, whether it's mental illness, whether it's need to seek employment, whether it's leaving an abusive family.
So what changes would you implement then? What is on your wish list, and how do you see that evolving over the next term?
Well, I have to say that actually the City of Vancouver does a pretty good job. Within Vancouver, what we found is that when the regional homeless count came out, the City of Vancouver has 1/3 of the region's homeless population. But we also have 1/2 of the region's services. So we are doing more than our share, and I'm proud of our record that way. Clearly we can be doing more, and under this council, through our partnership with the provincial government, we've been able to achieve some pretty record-setting results. Minister Coleman has been such a leader in coming to the table to say we can solve this problem, and that is the goal. The goal is to solve homelessness, and councils have unanimously endorsed the Homeless Action Plan, which sets up a multi-pronged approach to, first of all, build housing, provide support services, but also address some of the issues like welfare rates to help people so that they can have an affordable way to live. And what we've seen under this council is 3,800 units of housing are in progress right now that will house homeless people. The challenge that we have is that the homeless problem on the city streets of Vancouver is a national problem, a provincial problem, a regional problem. And because of our hospitable climate and the fact that we're providing services, we are housing the nation's problem on our streets and on the backs of our taxpayers. So we need to champion this cause at other government levels and also in other areas so that people can be housed in their own communities so that they don't have to come to Vancouver to get the supports.
We don't often hear about people supporting the men and women that go out there every day and are brave and help these people that we're talking about, and also help to protect the communities. But you've come out as a trailblazer and a huge supporter for the police, and I'm wondering if you could just talk a little bit about that.
Well, definitely I am a champion of our Vancouver Police Department, and I have so much respect and appreciation for the work that they do. And having been a volunteer with the Vancouver Police Victim Services, I had the opportunity to work side by side with our uniformed officers, and their professionalism, their compassionism, but also the demand that's placed on them to be tough in very trying circumstances.
Well, they have to be absolutely everything. Social worker,
and increasingly so. You know, right now the police have come out with a report that indicates that 1 in 3 of their contacts in Vancouver involve somebody with a mental illness. So they have to have so many bases of knowledge to draw on that I have such a respect and appreciation for their job. Well, definitely we have as a council supported the increase in hiring of police personnel. This council has brought on 200 new services to personnel to the Vancouver Police Department, and what we need to do is see how those additional personnel translate in terms of performance. Are we reducing the call times? Are we seeing crime go down? What has been the impact of those hires? And then doing an evaluation to see what else we need. What I'm hearing right now is that the two areas that are emerging in terms of need are facilities and technology, so equipment. And I think that's going to be the next ask, but definitely I would be prepared to consider what our police department needs and really take a serious look at those asks because they do such a valuable job.
Thanks so much, Kim. I mean, it's been a true pleasure to meet you. Your name's synonymous with advocacy, so I wish you the best of luck on your election. That was a fantastic interview with Peter Ladner, and thanks to all the candidates who spoke to us today. I'm Alise Mills for Hot Topic here on Novus TV. Remember to get out and vote.